Okay, everybody, welcome back to the channel. 7.3 has dropped, and so we continue our journey, Targeted Tragedy. So I was just watching this show on Netflix called Dad of Light, which was made in 2017. And it was about a true story where this guy who blogged about Final Fantasy XIV had gotten his dad to play it, and he'd never told his dad that he was playing it, and so he ended up making friends with him on the game, and it was a way for him to like bond with his dad because they weren't really that close in real life and they didn't really talk that much. But when he was a little kid, they used to play Final Fantasy III together. And so in the show, at least, it turned out that his dad had like some kind of illness, and that's why he quit his job, and that's why he was home more. But he never would have like found this stuff out without making friends with him on this game, where he got to, he got to know a whole nother side of his dad. And like I said, it was all based on like a true story. And I guess in real life, the son ended up dying himself of cancer a couple years ago. But in the show, so yeah, this is the character of the son. Like, this is his character. The character's name is like Maidy, and they put the character like in the game. Here in Solution 9. And I just thought that was really wild, and I thought I'd come and visit for a second, As we were approaching, she said, "What a view." And so this is the view she's looking at. It's kind of a beautiful thing. Someone could die, but they were kind of friends with Yoshi P, and he wrote this really heartfelt letter about it. And so yeah, forever in our hearts, this character will be here looking at this beautiful view, which is touching and just so wild, just really wild. But if you have a chance to watch the show, I thought it was really nice. Definitely kind of cheesy sometimes, but not like in a bad way. Like, I don't know, I really enjoyed it. And it's on Netflix, and it's actually coming off of Netflix at the time of recording this. It says September 1st is the day that the show is gonna be off. So if you wanna check it out, better hurry up and do it, like right now. Every episode, I think there were 7 episodes and like 1 bonus episode, and each episode was maybe like 25 minutes long. So definitely something you could watch. You could binge it in like two sessions, I'd say. Anyways, though, I thought that was really touching and a nice thought that, long after we're gone, I don't know, that character kind of has its place for eternity, in a way. Or as long as the game exists, I guess. Sheepy had this nice thought about, dying eventually and going to the afterlife and having like a sprout on his head and meeting Maidy again, and it was really nice. Alright, so here we go. Targeted Tragedy, the new 7.3 main quest line. You head into the back room? Yes. Here we go. Shale. Targeted Tragedy. If you have a moment, ZZZ, Geode wants to take stock of the current crisis. Oblivion may be lacking the finer details in certain areas, so we'd like you to lend your perspective to the conversation. Sorry to drag you into our meeting, but we need to get a better handle on the threats Alexandria is facing right now. Not at all. Much has happened since the state funeral, and a clear idea of where things stand would be beneficial for us as well. First things first then, let's discuss the state of the machine malfunctions. Every single sector reported instances of sentries attacking citizens without provocation and vehicles suddenly becoming unresponsive to controls. And while these malfunctions were resolved fairly quickly, they nevertheless resulted in a considerable number of injuries and deaths. But you haven't heard anything about new incidents since then, right? Right. No additional reports have been logged as far as I know. That's the good news. The bad news is, I tried to take control of the soldiers when they started hurting people, but they wouldn't listen to me, even though I have the king's authority. Once things calmed down, I was finally able to make them give up their weapons, but if it happens again, I don't know if they'll ignore me like that, like before. The King of Resolve's authority is about the highest there is. Who is this man that can override it with such impunity? Calyx. He lived in the age of the storm surge, as I did. Lest you forget, he was known for his advancements in electrope technology, and it was he who established preservation for the purpose of furthering his research. The wasting disease which afflicted him, however, was said to leave him scant years left to live. He must have chosen to undergo conversion into an endless, that he might continue his efforts into the present day. Preservation's early goals seemed noble enough, exploring treatments for Leaven's sickness, designing Everkeep's core system, that sort of thing. Why harm the people he was ostensibly trying to help? I do not pretend to fully understand Calyx's motivations, only that he appeared incensed by what he saw as mankind's failings. Mankind. He asserted that the strategy of adapting our species through generational succession was outdated, that evolution now requires us to forsake bodies of flesh in favor of eternal preservation. We've already seen how he's employed the simulant to convince Alexandrians that endless conversion is their only hope for survival. Eternal life is assured for the 5,000 who register their neo-regulators. But this is merely one part of Calyx's greater plan. He wants the key to interdimensional fusion. With that relic in his possession, he will draw aether from the reflections and expand his efforts to create endless 1,000-fold. If we mean to foil Calyx's schemes, then our only option is to determine where he's hiding and put him down. which unfortunately is easier said than done. I've been scouring the terminal we found in the depths of Everkeep, but I've failed to uncover even the slightest trace of his activities. Give me a little more time, though, and I'm sure I can sniff him out. I'll help you. While Galulja and Shale are working on that, I think I'm going to take a look around town. I want to make sure no new problems have cropped up, as well as search for any information that might lead us to Calyx. You're welcome to come along. Another malfunction could happen at any time, and I'd be glad to have some brawlers at my back. Yeah, okay. Count me in. Raha and the others are helping Oblivion patrol the other levels of the keep. So shall we stick to the streets solution 9? Sounds like a plan. Thanks, you two. I appreciate the company. I have to speak with the city's administrators about bringing in the Lands Guard. I want our soldiers around to protect those who are moving to Tuliolal. Alphino and Alice will be joining me for the meeting, so the three of us can cover that sector as soon as we're done. If I may, I'd like to join ZZZ's group, if you'll have me. The more mouths to questions, the merrier. The more mouths to ask questions, as long as you're aware of the dangers. Thank you. I'll do my best not to be a burden. I'm more worried about you, Geode. Don't do anything stupid. Pfft. You'll change your tune once we get back with the goods on Calyx. Then the drinks are on you. Come on, let's continue this outside. Alright. Been seeing these memes about the inside of one of these lockers, but we'll see. Alright, where did they go? Sorry, I was off in my own little world. Shall we get started? People seem uneasy. Are you alright? Let's see what there's to see. People seem uneasy. The people seem uneasy. They do. And can't say as I blame them. It was the Queen's fondest wish that her subjects remain shielded from the horrors of death. And say they were for the longest time. Then the moment mortality once again becomes an unavoidable fact of life, they're greeted with an outbreak of bloody violence. Many are bound to give the endless alternative serious consideration. Indeed, and I do not blame them for that. It is only natural that such thoughts should come to mind. What I cannot forgive is the way Calyx wields fear and misery to manipulate people into making that choice. No one, not Calyx nor anyone else, should dictate how we cope with the specter of death. As one who lived as an Alexandrian, I wish to put the choices for this country's future back into the hands of its citizens. And you think we can handle that responsibly? After everything you've seen of us? It is what I've seen that has convinced me you can. I awoke 4 centuries later to find our people living and laughing beneath Alexandria's banner. Though surprised and bewildered, I was overjoyed to see it so. You all deserve to be happy. Well then, we'd best not let you down. Now, I suggest we move as a group. We don't know if or when a battle might find us. Oh, I believe someone came prepared for just such an eventuality. Oh, you have a book now, huh? Is that a grimoire you retrieved from the old castle? Yes, my parents gifted it to me when I was a child. They were adamant that I should learn to protect the things important to me. I was fortunate enough to have a tutor in the arcane arts, so I lay claim to some small measure of skill. In that case, it might be better if we split into 2 groups after all. 'Twould certainly be more efficient for information gathering. I guess that makes sense. 2 of you can take the west side of the recreation zone then. ZZZ and I will take the east. Very well. We shall end our patrol in the plaza, just past Trueview, and await you there. Alright, buddy, let's go. Let's do the rounds. Pay special attention to anyone who looks overwhelmed or overly excited. Has this changed at all? Oh, you can ride mounts now, huh? As you escort people? Okay. I mean, you can't ride mounts in here, but... Alright, here's somebody right here. Let's see. Are the sentries and air-wheelers safe to be around now? I just know it's going to happen again, and maybe next time I'll be the one who dies in a horrible accident. I need a neo-regulator. Becoming endless is the only way. Even Queen's Fiend said so. All the memories. I used to drink around here all the time. I made sure not to overdo it when I had work the next day, but once we were past the busy season, or when the ladies weren't amenable to my company, well, you'd have to scrape me off the street outside in the morning or afternoon. The worst I ever got was on what I should have been the worst day of my life. If only I could remember it. I was still wearing a regulator back then. It was also the day I first met Shale. Although I guarantee she's forgotten it completely. So this guy's an alcoholic. I see. Likes the juice. You want to hear my story? Well, I appreciate you offering a sympathetic ear. Not much to tell. If you must know, a good friend of mine died when those machines went crazy. His air-wheeler dropped right out of the sky, and he didn't survive the crash. Damn fool wasn't wearing a regulator. I know that's not so strange these days, but he'd never bothered with one. He was at peace with the idea of dying someday, and I thought I understood what that meant until it happened. Well, it doesn't look like we're gonna get into any trouble here. Light-hearted citizen. What has me in such a fine mood, you ask? Well, I've just registered my new regulator. I was leery of becoming nothing but memories at first, but now that I've gone through with the registration, I've never felt more at ease. Also, once it was done, the regulator displayed the current numbers of the 5,000 slots available. Over 3,800 have already been filled. Well, it's getting close then, huh? So if you're still hesitant, You've not much time to make your mind up. Mark my words, friend. When there's only a few slots left, it's going to get very ugly. A word. I feel like there was a new factor in these stories we've heard. One we hadn't considered during our discussion with everyone in the background. Oh, that fights will break out over the last ones. Is that what it is? The fact that nearly 4,000 people have registered is worthy of its own report. But are you sure there wasn't anything else? Oh, what? This one? Oh, that is it, huh? The vast majority of residents have always worn regulators, so it's not a detail we'd normally think about. The supply of souls cut off, though. More and more people have been going without them. We need to look into the casualties from the recent attacks and check whether or not they were equipped with regulators. Let's ask around on the street over to the east. It was pretty chaotic at the time, but maybe we'll find eyewitnesses who can help us confirm if this was a pattern or not. Oh, I see. Yeah, pretty wild idea. These people have had no fear of death for their whole lives. And now suddenly they do. It was once my job to deliver goods by hover cargo. That's why I know a fair number of names and faces throughout the city. The little ones who jumped for joy when I brought them packages, the old lady who'd always greet me with a smile. I'd hate for anything bad to happen to them. I like this dinosaur with the glasses. He's over here too. Yeah. Kinda actually reminds me of Digimon. Looks like Agumon. A purple Agumon with glasses. Hello, how are you today? Please let me know if I may be of service. Citywide casualty data unavailable. Government officials are currently processing reports from all affected zones. Can you narrow it down to the recreation zone then? You must have some estimates on hand. Recalibrating perimeters. Injured 87 individuals. Casualties 19 individuals. Casualties equipped with regulators 0. What? Or does that just mean, of course, they died because they didn't have regulators on? Or is it a weird coincidence that the people who faced death didn't have regulators? You wish to know if the people who died in the machine rampage were wearing regulators? I'm sorry, but I was assigned to clearing away debris. I didn't see any of the deceased. No bodies were present by the time I arrived, so I assume the ushers had already done their work. I do remember there being patches of white dust scattered about that were quite a chore to clean up, but nothing else worthy of mention. ZZZ, I think it's time we rejoined Kryl and Sphene. I was half joking with my boast to Shale, but we may have stumbled upon something major here. We should share our findings and keep pursuing this avenue of inquiry. Didn't Kryl say to meet them in the plaza just outside of Trueview? Let's get going. I feel like all these people do is drink. Look at this. Drunk. Drinking. Making drinks. Grief-stricken. Oh, there they are. So essentially you're saying that the people who were killed by malfunctioning machines weren't wearing regulators? Well, the numbers are still tentative and only apply to that one zone. We don't know how they'll stack up against the overall data, but this is definitely more than a coincidence. I think it's safe to say that anyone who had removed their regulators was a priority target. Now that you mention it, the person I was treating for injuries wasn't wearing one either. But why? Why are they being targeted over everyone else? Based solely on the lack of neoregulator, we cannot judge if a person has no desire to become endless, or if they simply failed to acquire one of the limited devices. But those who wear no regulator at all, they've clearly rejected the old system of using souls to revive themselves. Put another way, they have chosen to live their lives in the knowledge that death is an inevitability. The chances that such resolute people would wish to become endless are far lower, I would imagine. And so Calyx has chosen those least likely to accept his vision as victims to stoke fear and panic. But there was no need to kill anyone. With the way things were, the people were already fearful enough. He could have found 5,000 willing citizens without all this madness. You make a good point. Perhaps this sowing of terror is in service to another scheme, or he had some other need for the lives he's taken. Yeah, what about the dust? What of the dust found near the victims? Right, the sanitation worker's story. She saw no bodies but mentioned piles of white dust. Dust, but no bodies? Nowhere have I heard that before. Do you recall when we went to save Aaronville from the sentries in the outskirts that Usher Malachite told us much the same thing? When I arrived, I found no body, only a pile of dust, which the wind quickly scattered. Confused, I questioned the residents, but none knew what had become of it. That both stories speak of missing remains is suspicious enough, but the shared mention of this dust is too much to ignore. In that case, we should confirm if this substance was present at other sites and attempt to ascertain its nature. Following this thread may lead us not only to an explanation for the missing bodies, but also the intent behind Calyx's murderous actions. ZZZ, we need your help. I've lost control over the soldiers in the residential area. They might be trying to hurt people again. Oblivion members are on their way now, but are you close enough to join them? Now we gotta fight on our hands. Damn it. Our new investigation will have to wait. Let's go. Oh, it's just taking us there.
Stay back! Stay away from me!
That's creepy.
Leave him alone!
Are you all right?
What happened here?
A sentry walked into my apartment, even though I'd locked the door and everything. I managed to run, but the man who tried to save me...
No weapons, which is to be expected, considering all the sentries were meant to be disarmed. Yet it was ordered to attack all the same, even if that meant using its bare hands.
I'll leave matters here to you. I'm going to do a sweep of the surrounding area.
Do you know anyone else in this sector who no longer wears a regulator?
Oh, I don't think I've seen Isadora and her boy with theirs recently.
Go to them, quickly!
I'm pretty sure we're the ones that told them not to wear them. Because that boy had some weird electrical problem.
Wyaquay!
I'll be fine. But Isadora's in bad shape. Mother, please.
Oh no.
Isadora! Oh, thank goodness. She wasn't struck anywhere vital.
I'm sorry. If only I'd gotten here sooner.
Everything will be all right. I promise to make your mother better.
Thank you, miss. Will she sleep like that forever?
No, not forever. She'll wake soon, I'm sure of it.
That's good to hear. thank you for saving her.
And so it begins. The promise of tomorrow. Forgive me, I was reckless. You shouldn't have had to waste time tending my wounds as well. Did you see our other comrade back there? He stayed behind in the lobby, but I heard the sounds of fighting. I'm sorry. He must have fallen protecting the residents. Yeah, he did. Alright. Quest number 2 of patch 7.3. The Endless Choice. Our comrade. You think he may have been struck down? If he is wounded or worse, I should go to him. Wait, please. It isn't safe. And you still need rest. Would you stay with Milos and watch over Isadora for me? We will tend to your friend. I thank you. Please be careful yourself. Whoa. Oh, that's a actual player. I was like, that's cool though. Look like Vivi. And they got a little Vivi behind him. That's cool. Wait, where's the door? Oh, duh. That man, this is awful. Isadora is going to be alright then, I'm so glad. I've just finished my ministrations here. Our Oblivion comrade was beyond saving, I'm afraid. He died. That brave soul, he gave his life to save another. He died protecting me. I don't understand why any of this is happening. That sentry was behaving normally like any other. Then all of a sudden it tried to kill me. Weapons or no, Calyx commanded them to commit murder. Is it over? We came as soon as Waka Wayakwe sent word. Oh shit, a dead guy. I am sorry, but he's fucking dead. By the time we arrived, it was too late. Then Geode could be in trouble too once we have this radius locked down. We need to find him. Weren't we just hanging out with him? Where'd he go? But why? Has something happened? Possibly. We're not sure what, but he stopped responding to our communications. We need to prioritize securing the residential sector, though, at least until we regain control over the sentries. Then we should search for Geode. My Geo, dude. I agree. Since most Oblivion members have sworn off regulators, if our theory holds true, then they could be prime targets for the next attack. Please, do what you can to shepherd the residents to safety, but avoid the sentries at all costs. Our thanks. Here, take these communicators. We've made modifications. I wish they would have just made a little item. That dude just showed me his hand, and now I'm just staring at my hand. But, you know, could have just made a little communicator device be there. Would have been nice. Good going, 7.3. We made modifications to them to prevent Calyx from intercepting the signal, and have been using them to coordinate movements with allies in the vicinity. They're all so invisible. Wyokwe has one too, so I'll ask her to keep hailing Geode. Good luck, and stay safe. Geode said he could sweep the surrounding area, so he shouldn't have ventured too far. Let's get going. You see no sign of Geode. Perhaps you should search further to the east. Geodude! Where'd you go? You see no sign of Geodude. Waka Waka's voice crackles forth from the communicator. Geodude! Geodude, answer me. There is no response. Perhaps you should continue your search further to the east. Who's that? You see no sign of Geodude. The neighboring residential radius would be the next logical place to look. Ah, I knew something would happen. Because that other person was there for longer than 2 seconds.
This is the only place left. Let them be safe.
Geode, are you there? Answer me, please!
I'm here. Sorry for the long silence. I've been busy.
Oh, you're alive! Thank the gods! Where are you now?
The radius next door. The lobby is secure. I'll scout the second floor. Then I'll join you.
Whoa. What is it doing? Oh, Jesus.
That dust.
Dust? What are you talking about? What's happening?
They're not just collecting souls. They're draining the bodies of corporeal ether. The dust that we saw was all that was left of the victims. They must have modified the soul cells. Shit.
Can't be here! You need to run, now!
Oh,
A trap.
a tricky trap.
Take care of the others, eh?
Creepy.
No sign of him so far. This way, maybe? Geode!
Oh no, they got him.
A shame. I had hoped to leave here with at least one more cell's worth of ether. But seeing how eager you are to interfere, I shall cut this foray short.
Calyx. What could you possibly stand to gain from these atrocities?
Ether sufficient to generate 5,000 endless. How would you acquire it?
How would I?
Until I have the key, the reflections are closed to me. Thus do I make do with the sources at hand. 7% of Alexandria's current population will yield the energy to convert 5,000 into endless. With 11%, operations could continue unabated for 800 years. Our bodies are fated to decay sooner or later. These ones refuse the gift of eternal life, so what difference does it make if I return them to ether now?
So that would have been a nice time for a fight. They should have us fight all those things first, and then this.
I will not waste time and resources on meaningless conflict. This unit cannot offer you worthwhile resistance.
Yeah, whatever. Would have been fun, though.
Instead, I pose a question. Would you hand over the key if I promised to halt my harvest?
You would only seek other victims.
It was foolish of me to even ask. I return to my work then. There is much to do if I must take the key by force.
Yeah, that kind of a badass battle. This pile of dust, these ashes. And the soul cell he left behind. Was that his twisted way of returning Geode to us? Damn you, Calyx. Damn you and your careless cruelty. He was our friend. Even so, some might say every death was justified if it meant 5,000 endless could continue their immortal lives. And if a reflection stolen ether allowed for many more endless, why that too would be a noble sacrifice for the greater good. What are you saying, Cryle? Who could think that? Not I. Certainly not I. We know only too well there is not noble in this sacrifice. We have to stop him. We have to find Calyx, put an end to this madness as soon as possible. And under no circumstances can we let the key fall into his possession, ZZZ. It falls to us. We must. We will thwart his plans here in Alexandria before he can terrorize innocents in reflections elsewhere. I just wish that was a battle. That would have been a cool battle. Oh well. Quest number 3 of 7.3. My memories and yours. We should return to the back room. Shale and the others need to know what happened. Yes, I'll ask Waka Waka to meet us there as well. Oh, just going straight to it, huh? They didn't make me waka waka there. Here's Geodude. He's turned into a tube.
our dear Geode.
The soldiers. If only I'd been able to control them.
This isn't your fault, Gololja. The blame lies with Calix, and with him alone. It's all so senseless. Why force his plans upon us when we're already happy, living our lives? What does he even think life is? I'll never forgive Calix for doing this. Or myself for being powerless to stop him. Wait, where are you going? To clear my head. Don't worry, I won't do anything stupid.
Stay here and get some rest. I'll make sure nostalgia stays out of trouble.
Thank you.
Things would have been far worse if you and Geode hadn't rushed in there. Many people are still alive because of you. And after adding what you discovered to the leads we've dug up, I'm hopeful we can determine where Calix is hiding. But not right now. We need time before we can move on. Just a little time.
Oh, Geode.
I wonder if they can turn him back somehow. Another comrade gone. Some days it's almost more than I can bear. Geode he was an older brother to Nostalgia and me. Shale knew him longer though, and is surely taking it the hardest, and that's on top of what happened to Do you think you could check on her? See how she's doing? She's like to put on a brave face. If it's me or my sister, I'd like to meet your mother and ask her why she named you guys all these crazy names. That's what I'd like to do. I'd like to meet your mother. Apologies. My mind was elsewhere. We need to press on with the hunt for Calix. But I can't seem to focus. I should be better than this, I know. As you said, you need time to work through it. You're right. I had to heed my own words. As it stands, I'm of no use to anyone. Waka. Used to say the best thing to do with grief was to let it all out. So I think I'll take myself over to Earth and Sky and say my goodbyes to Geode. Why don't you come along? I could use someone to blubber to if you've a shoulder to spare. Right then. Let's get out of Everkeep for a bit. Oh, I haven't seen anybody saying things, but look, you can see when I say things. How about that? I literally haven't seen another person say a thing yet. I was in Limsa even, and nobody said anything. It's a fair trek on foot, so I've arranged for a couple of air wheelers. They've had their communication modules removed, so even Calyx shouldn't be able to seize control of them. Say the word, and we'll go. Yeah, that sounds fun. Oh, it just automatically follow you? Okay, that's not as fun. That's a cool contraption. For years now, I've been taking one out for a turn whenever I can't read that fast. I have to try to read really fast then. When I'm ready, say some more stuff and I'll read it all fast. Sometimes Jude would come along too and we'd end up racing. Does that surprise you? Our friendship always had a competitive edge. We would often talk about how one day we might fly our wheelers outside the dune. Almost there, be sure the ground is clear before you touch down. Phew, that helped clear my head a touch. You know, ZZZ, you might be the first person I've ridden with who wasn't an Oblivion recruit. As far as I remember, at least. The memories from my regulator days aren't exactly reliable. Come on, let's head inside. Hopefully the way will be clear of pests today. I don't mind, you know, she should say, we're gonna have to fight a lot of shit in here. You know, and that would be great. Because I would like to fight some things. Oh, great. Here we go. We're gonna fight some things. Do I got my chocobo? Yep, there he is. Alright, Scorch, Resolution. Oh, I didn't get to use it. I feel like they took one away, though, essentially. Oh, so that's it? We have one fight? Wait, was I not supposed to go in here? What is this? Oh, okay. Whoops. Thanks, we can usually avoid such encounters, but sometimes they wander in and block the only path. Not that it slowed you down at all. I've never seen you fight up close before, and the surveillance feed clearly didn't do it justice. Hopefully that keeps the route clear for a while. Shall we? What are we drinking? Oil? You haven't touched your oil.
The three of us would come back here to reminisce. Me, Geode, And Kafkiwa. Will you raise a glass?
I will in spirit. I'm not drinking this oil.
Oh! What are the two of you doing here?
I had a feeling you'd show up. Would you like to join us?
I suppose I could spare a moment.
I just realized why that voice actor stands out. Not British.
They tell us Oblivion's founders disappeared some decades ago under mysterious circumstances. And it was Kafkiwa who revived our organization. You and Geode helped her with that, didn't you? Tell us more about it. You're keen to know too, right? What they were like back then. The mad things they got up to. That sort of thing.
Those were the days. It was actually right before the Reformation that I met Geode. I still wore a regulator then. I'd recently lost someone close to me. And also quit a long stint as an adapter to work at a bar of all places. It paid me to sit with patrons and keep them company. So Geode came in one night. It wasn't long before we got into an argument. First-time customer, but tempers flared. And then one of us threw a punch.
You got into a fist fight? What were you even arguing about?
Damned if I know. We were deep in our cups. I think we were both just frustrated and angry at everything. By the end of it, we were both sprawled out in the street. Pair of drunken fools. Then this odd machine stopped to lecture us, scolding us for obstructing the foot traffic and not taking better care of ourselves.
I can't imagine you ever being in such a sorry state. The odd machine. That was Kafkiwa, I take it.
That it was. Once she was done upbraiding us for our unseemly behavior, she launched into a recruitment pitch. Kafkiwa explained that she wanted to protect the outside world from Zoralja's invasion, to keep him from bringing ruin to the place her beloved son lived. And if we were so intent on self-destruction, then perhaps we might consider risking our hides for a just cause. It was a lot to take in. I hadn't given much thought to what lay beyond the barrier, and learning that Kafkiwa herself was already dead was enough to make my head spin. But Geode and I were intrigued by her ideas, and wanted to see this future of hers come to pass.
Geode often spoke of it. He told me that meeting Kafkiwa was what first taught him the value of remembering people.
Like he was sharing a holy revelation.
Oh, but back then you hadn't yet taken on Oblivion's name, had you?
Is that so? I just assumed.
It hadn't been Kafkiwa's intention to carry on Oblivion's legacy, nor adopt the cause your parents championed. Not initially, at least. She wasn't even aware such an organized resistance existed. She did, however, suspect the presence of other dissidents, those who objected to resurrecting the memories of the dead in defiance of the natural order. In the hopes of identifying like-minded comrades, we began searching the core system for traces of unauthorized access. And that's how we found it. An anomalous sector in the back of the Neon Stein. According to Melancholy, the door to that mystery had remained firmly shut since she took over the business.
The back room.
The back room. We forced our way in, only to discover that the hideout had long been abandoned. Although the occupants were gone, the equipment they'd left behind contained records of a group calling itself Oblivion. After reading through their exploits and their vision for the future, we made the decision to carry on their work.
Thus were my parents' and Kafkiwa's hopes bound together.
And carried onward by Shale and Geode.
We could never have made it this far on our own, of course. Not without the strength of arms you and your friends provided. Losing comrades is a hard thing, but being here, thinking back on the moments we shared, I can see their smiles, hear their laughter. I feel their presence, and I know they're still with us. But these memories of mine are for me alone. Reminders of why I chose to do this, and why I'll stay the course. Right. Time we got back to work. Thank you, everyone.
No, it's me who should be thanking you. Though the pain is still deep, I don't feel like I'm drowning in it anymore. Let's get out there and put a stop to Calyx. For you, for me, and for everyone who's ever believed in Oblivion.
I appreciate you helping me through these. And not only the grief, you've helped me see that my comrades mean even more to me than I realized, which only fuels my determination. I'll be spending every waking moment working to bring Calyx to account for his crimes. I'll do my part, then you do yours. Oblivion needs you. Yep, quick time. It's just 11? Who needs it, man? Give me that 12. Darkness and the halt. It's time I went back to locating Calyx's lair. I have a new strategy in mind, but it remains to be seen if it will aid in narrowing down the possibilities. I'll ask Kryle for help. I want to examine the data, starting with that of her parents. After all, they were the first to break away from the preservation and establish an organized resistance with Oblivion. There must be something in there that can point us to the right direction. What are your plans? ZZ, is that you? Apologies for calling suddenly. I've been making the rounds in the outskirts, and I cannot help but feel as though something is amiss. Might I ask you to join me? Your perspective would be most appreciated. It can wait until you've finished attending to Shale, of course. Seems your plans have been decided for you. Go on. I have others to speak with before I return to the back room. Wait, where even am I, though? Because we took some crazy motorcycles here. Is there like a teleport thing somewhere around here that I should unlock? No, I guess not. Well, fair enough. Thank you for coming. As I mentioned, I would benefit from your worldly experience. Perhaps it is my imagination, but the townspeople appear to be acting oddly. That is, even considering the current state of affairs. As I'm yet unfamiliar with the outskirts, I thought you might be better equipped to judge if their behavior is unusual or not. Would you speak with them, see what you think, though I hope to be proven wrong if there's something's not right. Alright. This music's pretty wild. Oh, they're wanting the Neo regulators, huh? Please tell me you brought more Neo regulators. Officially, they've all been handed out already, but I've heard rumors. There's a few left over. Surely the government still has some, or perhaps Queen Sphene? I may not look it, but I was a hunter once back then. Hardly gave death a second thought. But now that I know the truth, it's all I can think about. Has to be a way to hold on, there has to. You're not wearing a regulator. Don't you know the end is coming? Well, it's your life to lose. Me? I got myself one of those Neo regulators, registered a little while ago. As soon as I did, a display appeared showing the number of registered users. Right now, it's sitting at 4,168. The upper limit was 5,000, wasn't it? Seems the total shot up right after those machine malfunctions. It's only a matter of time before everyone's registered. Pity those who weren't chosen, but I'm going to be an endless. I'm going to evolve and live happily ever after. Didn't the other person just say that they're all gone? And then that dude's like, there's 800 left. Well, you need to go talk to that first lady I talked to and tell her to stop freaking out. Could go get one if you wanted to. Greetings. I remember when you visited with Queen Sphene. Come to check on our well-being, have you? Well, I can say things are rather stressful out of here's. Without knowing if or when our machinery might turn murderous, the specter of death is ever present. People are terrified and the clamor for neo-regulators has reached a fever pitch. I personally was fortunate to have claimed a new device early on, and have long since completed the registration. Death has no hold over me. Now I must begin my prayers. The darkness draws closer, grows deeper, and we must cast it out. Where did Sweeney go? There she is. So this lady, she doesn't have one, right? At all? Oh, she does have one of those things. I guess it's not a neo-regulator, though. It's just, what, like a normal one? Not looking good, Sphene. Not looking good. Yeah, I'd say palpable. A lot of palping going on here. People are overwhelmed by uncertainty and fear. And with each new registration, that fear inside them grows more insistent. How long until it drives them into a full-blown panic? ZZZ, can you come to resolution? We have a problem. I'm already here with Lamati and Alphino. We gotta go. Sounds like she wants us there in a hurry. We should go.
What's happened? Sorry to drag you out here, but I thought it best you see for yourself.
Death is your constant companion. Though you toil with diligence, death may come ere your reward is bestowed. Though your grand works be poised for completion, death may come ere you wake the following morn. Though you enjoy a life of peace and good fortune, death needs but one instant to claim you. Your bodies are weak. Your heart, your brain, every fragile organ rolls the dice from moment to moment. Sheer chance deciding if they function or fail. Be you stoic or generous or righteous, no virtues tip the scales in that fatal reckoning. The choice is made without reason. The end is cloaked in terror. That is what it means to die.
The announcement began after we finished our meeting with Gossen. As for its source, well...
Calyx.
There is no shame in being afraid. It is that very fear which will drive you to conquer death. Let us set a new course for mankind. Let us preserve our existence unto perpetuity. Hope for it, wish for it, pray for it. We will become endless. With evolution's brilliance, will we banish the ever-present darkness of mortality.
Change isn't easy. No one ever wants to take the first step. But this is the right path for us. What other way could there be? I'm gonna do it. I'm going to register.
Wow, Wuklemat. You couldn't have come at a better time. Please, you have to let us move to Tuliyolal.
It's too dangerous to stay here. Who knows when the next century will turn on us?
Even if we wanted to become endless, there are no more neo-regulators to be had. Fleeing is our only option.
If the solution was as simple as leaving, then we'd all have left already. Did you not hear the announcement? For the living, death is a foregone conclusion. No matter where we go, or who we shelter with, we won't get another chance like this to overcome our fate.
Easy for you to say when you have that regulator.
The Landsguard are on their way as we speak, and arrangements have been made to see that you all will be safely evacuated. Tuliyolal will aid you in whatever way we can. So please, remain calm.
I want to help Alexandria. I want to save its people. But what can I do? I am not their queen.
Looking bad. Looking like there's gonna be a big ol' fight. Calyx has access to the core system, which means that if he chose to do so, he could deploy the soldiers beyond the barrier. Even if our people learn to live with death and decide to leave the dome behind, they will not be beyond his reach. Yet, if it serves to allay their fears even a little, I beg you, Wilclamont, please let them shelter in Tuliyolal. We will welcome any and all who want to come. We've already begun evacuations and will be able to pick up the pace once the Lance Guard arrives. In which case, we had best spread out and keep an eye on the crowds. The mood is tense, and we must prepare for possible violence. If you happen to determine where Calyx is hiding, though, we'll be ready to move at a moment's notice. Surely we'll find a clue of some kind soon. He can't elude us forever. Violence and fear. This is not the future she envisioned for her nation. Madness. Violence and fear. Oh, that's a real person. It's like, I don't remember you in the bunch. Anyways, that's all for this episode. We'll have to see how this pans out next time. You know, kind of wanted to look at this more closely. What is even happening there? It's like that person, I think that's supposed to be Queen's Fiend, is like turning into that building. That's pretty cool. Anyways, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Alright, goodbye.